make sure you send someone down here to fill in this hole. Thanks. Yeah, an open grave can definitely be dangerous. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I will be doing the final episode recap. If you haven't been seeing any videos from me, I do apologize. It has been such a delay with YouTube. But anyways, let's get into the last episode recap of the week, July 12, 2024. So we see where Bobby is having breakfast and Jada comes in, right? Because Jada still wants answers about Leishan's murder. So she asks Bobby, you know, where's the details? Like, I need more information. And you know, she said, like, you know what, I'm gonna come out. If you can't give me information on Lee's death, you will not see me again. So at some point he said that he was gonna do that. He promised that he was gonna do it. Then he started to have like what would you call it, like he started having a headache, you know, like when he was transitioning between Bobby and Everett, right? So he had started having an episode, and then Jada is like, oh my gosh, I need to get some help, right? So at this point, I just feel like he's faking it, honestly. I don't think it's real. But anyways, he's now back to Everett, and he's like, where is he? And she's like, you're at the sanitarium. He's like, what happened the last time I saw? Last thing I remembered was you and Marlene and Stephanie in the room doing an intervention. So she's like, yeah, a lot has happened since then. And he was like, you know, he really needs assistance, right? So I think Jada called Marlena over, and you know, Marlena is happy to see Everett back, right? So anyways, we go over to see Connie and her delusions, crazy Connie and her delusions of Lee having breakfast with her, right? So anyways, she started talking about how Bobby said that he was gonna, you know, keep her name out of it, and she will get away with this scotch-free. And he's like, how can you really get away with this murder? Like she said, you know, you gotta blame Melinda and Gabby and Gil for this, right? They're the reasons why you're dead. And he's like, how? So this is where we started seeing flashbacks of how Gil was involved in it, because he came over to look for Ava at the time, right? And he saw Lee's body, and Lee at the time had a pulse, but Gil didn't want no parts of it because of his, you know, connections, right? So anyways, you know, somehow they got intertwined, and that's how nobody could implicate her in the murder, right? And she just felt like, in her deluded mind, she felt like she was just used, and because of the other ladies in Lee's life, she wasn't an option, right? Because she came over in the dress and she was asking Lee if he wanted to come to a ballroom dance with her, and he's like, no, I'm having a bad day because of the whole thing with Gabby. And you know, I think it's some threat or something, I don't remember, but something went on last year between Gabby and Lee, right? We can't remember right now, but yeah. So she just felt used, and she was like, you know, I was there to check in on you, so you're like stalking me at my sessions with Dr. Marlena Evans. And she's like, no, I just care about you, and I know you care about me, and why won't you give me a chance? So she's just being desperate and stalkerish and psychotic at this point. And that's when I don't know why he turned his back on her, because clearly she's deranged. I don't see why Lee did that, because he was gonna call the police until, you know, as in turning back, she plunged a knife in his back, you know. And then she's like, oh my God, can't believe I did this and everything. And, you know, it's always somebody else's fault, right? So anyways, we see Ava and Kristen, right? And Ava is over there to sign some paperwork, which she believed that she could have had done at home or somewhere else. You know, she doesn't want to be in the same mansion where Gabby and Stefan are, right? Because of their whole affair and the awkwardness. So Kristen is like, she apologizes, and then she says, you know, the office is being cleaned out, you know, getting rid of EJ's essence, right? So anyways, Kristen and her is talking about paperwork, and Kristen also saying that she won't say anything about their affair, right? Because she and Ava are friends, and she, you know, she doesn't want to ruin that, and she doesn't find no joy in it. So she just said Ava just needs to just stop talking about it, right? Just keep your mouth shut. But you know, Ava, once Ava does something, Ava always is like she keep talking about it, blurting it out, and like, you know, she just needs to just calm down and stop doing that. So we see Gabby and Stefan after the day that Gabby wrote EJ, right? They're in bed and Gabby, she's in the mood for something else, but Stefan is like, no, I'm not in the mood. She's like, what happened? Like, he said, I have a major headache and it's all your fault. And she's like, I thought we talked about this. I thought we moved fast. And he's like, he's still not past what she did because he felt like she shouldn't have done it. So she's like, really? I don't have no regrets and we should have moved past this, right? So at this point, she just, you know what, let me get out for some fresh air, and that was it with them for now, right? So we see Rafe come over to Marlena's, right, and he's just worried about Jada spending a lot of time with Bobby, and so he asked Marlena for her professional opinion on whether Bobby is telling the truth about Lee Shin or he's just using it to get closer to Jada. So Marlena thinks that it's a fabrication, and he probably just wants to spend more time with Jada, and Rafe is agreeing, you know, because Rafe thinks the same thing, right? Which we all know that's what Bobby wants, right? So he's saying that, you know, because he doesn't really not aware of the whole DID, he doesn't have much information. So she was talking more and more about the condition, of course not dispersing too much detail because of the confidentiality thing. So they were talking more about it, and he asked if Bobby is a threat to Jada, and Marlena says in her opinion that he's not. He shouldn't cause any trouble to her, right? But he's just so worried about it. He knows that Jada can take care of herself, but he still wants to be protective of her, you know, which is understandable. So we move on to the next scene, right? At some point, we see Kristen and Ava still talking about the whole secret of the affair, and then Gabby comes in and like, what secret? So anyways, Kristen said she casually went out saying that she has a business call, so Ava is left alone with Gabby, which is awkward, and Gabby's like, you know, Ava is like, I'm working here now, right, working for Kristen, and you know, I'm gonna be with HR recruiting, right? So Gabby said, like, that's nice, congratulations. And she also said congratulations to Gabby for being released, right? So you know, all is well. So Gabby said that she wanted to talk to her about her husband, right? So then Ava started to tense up, but then Gabby's like saying, you know, I thank you both for just what you guys had to sacrifice to make sure that I got released, right? To make sure that I wasn't harmed during the whole Clyde thing, right? But I just feel like Gabby is just really calm, and I think that she knows more about this affair, and she's gonna really give it to the two of them. But let's see. Anyways, Stefan walks in and he surprises Ava there, and he gets tense because he's like, oh Lord, I just want to be away from Ava. And then Gabby's there now, so it's just more awkwardness. So Gabby's like, yeah, I'm gonna leave because they already had that big fight in the morning, right? So that leaves Stefan and Ava. Stefan is like, why are you here? And like Ava said, trust me, I really don't want to be here, but I am working here and I got to sign paperwork. Kristen is here, and Kristen came in, and Kristen is like, you know, we just had to do what we had to do here. And he's like, next time just bring it to the office, like just don't have it here. I really don't want this to be a thing while my wife is here, right? So Kristen is like, don't worry yourself, like I won't spill nothing, right? So at this point, Ava is gone and Gabby is gone. So it's just Kristen and Stefan, right? And Stefan is like saying, you know, he just doesn't know if he can trust that she won't tell, right? And, you know, she's saying that she won't tell. She has no reason to, right? She, you know, he helped her get the job, the CEO job at the Mirror, right? So she's saying, I guess he won't tell Gabby any more secrets, right? You know, considering that she blew up EJ and Nicole's marriage and all of this thing with Jude, and she's like, I should have known that EJ, that's the only reason why he wanted me to hire Melinda. So boy, poor EJ at this point, he lose everything. I wonder if he's still gonna have that DA job, by the way. But let's see. But anyways, Kristen said the secret is safe with her, and you know, just keep it moving. And also, I think Stefan also asked Ava if Harris is gonna tell, and she's like, Harris is not here no more. And he's like, he didn't know, and he's sorry to hear that. And she's like, Harris is not even gossipy, so she's not worried that he might tell, right? So anyways, we move on to the next scene. So I don't have the picture, but Rafe and Gabby were having lunch at the pub, and Gabby was saying, well, Rafe wanted a statement from both of them regarding Jude and his paternity and how long Stefan knew, right? So she's like, Stefan is really not in a good space right now. We had a little falling out earlier, so I don't think it's the right time, right? So you may have to contact him differently. So he said, okay, I'll do that. And then they started talking about Rafe and his work, and Rafe said that, don't tell anybody that I told you, but Abigail may be alive. And she's like, oh my gosh, really? So then he started talking about the black book and Lee Shin and possible indication that somebody else killed Lee, right? And she's like, oh my gosh, because she went through the ordeal and it wasn't pretty, right? So it's like, don't worry about it. You need to focus on yourself, focus on your happiness right now. You're out, right? And she's like, yeah, I really need to get, work on myself and do me right now, right? So let's move on, and we see Ava coming, and she's like, Ava, I need to talk to you. And Ava's like, didn't we just talk a while ago at the mansion? And she's like, yeah, but I've been thinking I want to just get back into my business with Gabby Chic, and I think that we should work together since you're at the mayor. And Gabby Chic is a really lucrative business, so I think it work out. But let's see, folks. I think she's up to something, that Gabby girl. But anyways, we see Jada and Marlena, right? So they were at the sanitarium, and Everett at the time, or so we think, he said he wants to be released, but he's asked if he was here on his consent, and they said no, because of how unstable he was at the time. It was involuntary. But anyways, he said that he feels up to it to just go home. He has a job, he has a relationship we need to get back to. So Marlena is like, I see that you made a breakthrough, so I'm gonna sign you out. I don't think they should have signed him out, because at first Marlena was saying, stay here a few days, but then I guess he convinced her, and he's out, right? So Jada and her is outside the pub, and Jada is like, I was trying to see if Bobby knew anything more about Lee Shin's murder, and I don't know if we'll ever know, because Everett is back. So Marlena is like, I don't think Everett would have any knowledge of it, so it's a done deal at this point, right? So we move on to the next scene, right? So we see Everett, or so we think. Well, it's really bad, because Bobby put on a performance there, and they caught it. So he's like back in his room, and he's like, okay, Connie, you owe me one now. I did what you asked. So yeah, he put on a performance, and they bought it. I knew it. I knew that it wasn't Everett. Ah, boy, let's see what happens. So we see Rafe out at the gravesite where Abigail's grave was dug up, right? So he was on the phone with Paulina, and he's saying like, Paulina, we need to clear up this hole now, because we finished the investigation, right? That open grave can be a dangerous site, right? So speaking of dangerous, we see this crazy one come up. So not even a second, crazy Connie just come with the knife again and plunge it into Rafe back, people. So she said she was gonna get him out the way so Bobby can be with Jada, but I guess this is the only way they could. Anyways, guys, this is it for the Days of Our Lives recap for this week. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to my channel. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I will see you next week for all new recaps. Bye.